Love-inspired suspense and HarlequinAudio present Exposing Lethal Secrets by Deena Alexander, performed by Teri Schnaubelt. Glory ye in his holy name. Let the heart of them rejoice that seek the Lord. Psalms chapter 105, verse 3. Mickey, your strength and courage astound me. 1. Getting out late today, huh, Olivia? Marty Jenkins, an older gentleman Olivia Delaney had worked with for the past 5 years, tipped his trademark tweed scally cap as he passed her. Friend or foe? No way to tell, so Olivia forced a smile and hooked a thumb toward the exit. Just grabbing something I forgot, then I'm on my way out. Well, you have a good weekend. You too. A shiver raced up her spine as they passed each other in the long corridor. Must be the air conditioning, kept cooler than was comfortable in deference to all the computers in her late father's office building. At least, that was what she told herself. She resisted the urge to turn and look over her shoulder, barely. If someone was watching, no way did she want to alert them to her intentions. She continued at her casual pace, heels clicking like gunshots against the tile floors. When she reached her supervisor's office, where she'd conveniently forgotten her bag when she met with him earlier, she glanced discreetly down the corridor behind her, then let herself in. Holding her breath, she hurried across the room and inserted a flash drive she'd prepared into the computer. She'd downloaded most of the proof she needed that someone was running a money laundering operation through her father's investment firm. She needed just a few more files, and then she just had to make sure that evidence stayed put until she could dig through it all, determine who exactly was involved, and alert the authorities. Sweat trickled down her back, and the seconds ticked by loudly in her head, prodding her to move faster lest she get caught locking the company's files and access to their bank accounts. With a sigh of relief, she completed her task, yanked the flash drive from the computer, and tucked it into her skirt pocket for safekeeping. That specific flash drive had an encryption key for unlocking the files and accounts. Without it being physically inserted into a company computer, no one would be able to access those files. No way would she allow whoever was using her father's investment firm as a front for a money laundering scheme to get away with it. Now, if she could just make her way out of there before anyone realized what she'd done. She'd waited to lock everything up until the building was mostly empty of her coworkers. People she was friendly with, had socialized with, people she knew. At least, she'd thought she did, before she came across a journal tucked away in a locked box in her father's closet when she'd been cleaning out his home. Her brother, Tristan, hadn't let her anywhere near their father's office, but he'd left the rest of the house to Olivia to deal with. Well, half-brother. Olivia had 2 half-siblings, Tristan and Amy. They'd had no interest in their father on a personal level, and now they could let that show. Tristan and Amy's mother had walked out a long time ago, leaving them to be raised by a man who, according to them, hadn't wanted to be a father. They claimed he was a ruthless tyrant who didn't care about anything other than his business. Olivia's experience with him had been so much different, and a point of contention between her and Tristan for as long as she could remember. As if it were her fault he'd found God after marrying Olivia's mother. She couldn't help it, nor would she apologize for the fact that she and her dad had been very close, especially after her mother passed away when Olivia was a teenager. So she'd applied herself to honoring his memory as she cleaned out the house. Then she'd found that safe. Grief and guilt had nearly overwhelmed her when the combination to the lock turned out to be her own birthday. The journal contained information that didn't make sense. Shell corporations, questionable real estate transactions, and large amounts of cash being moved around, in addition to instructions and passwords to access files on a laptop hidden with the journal. Apparently, her father had stumbled across a massive money laundering scheme. Unfortunately, with Tristan having majority control of the company, her dad had needed proof of who was involved before he would risk moving to take them down. Was it a coincidence he'd died of a heart attack before he was able to determine that answer? Olivia had
Sample complete. Ready to continue?